Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is good along Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo. Um, we are awaiting the arrival of Michael Bullock. If he comes in, great. If he doesn't, then well, I guess we'll see him on Monday night. All right, guys. So this was supposed to have gone down last night, but due to some stuff beyond our control, we didn't have the show. We were supposed to have it at 10:30. Then I felt like, you know what? I'm gonna give it about a half an hour. So I had came in a little late. I was trying to get everything all set it up. So I decided I'll wait an hour. So I'll wait one more. I'll wait a half an hour. Once we get everything set it up, then we'll go. It is 11. We're going and we're gonna drop it right now. So as always, start off with Smackdown Live, then to be followed by AEW Rampage. That's how we're gonna do it tonight. So, starting it out, hey, we started with a banger. Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion Gunther putting the title on the line against Braun Strowman. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout, 18 minutes and 2 seconds, and still the Intercontinental Champion, the leader of Imperium, the Ring General, Gunther. All right, I'm calling it. Fight of the night, 4 to 4.5 stars. This was a banger. What a match. I gotta say it. Braun Strowman had the fight of his career. Best performance by him. But then again, you're going up against one of the best guys in wrestling today with Gunther. He made Strowman look like $1,000,000. Yes, there was a couple of commercials in the way. However, when those commercials got out of the way, it still made the show even incredible. I really got nothing more to say. It was everything it needed it to be. The match was amazing and it delivered in so many ways. Anthony Florio, it is yours. Give me your thoughts.
Wow. MF is right. Strowman's best performance. It was one of Strowman's best performances, without a doubt. Maybe the performance of his career. We can certainly make an argument. But I'll say this: it was undoubtedly fueled by his hometown crowd in Green Bay. He was motivated, matched Gunther's intensity. It did not look out of place working with one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet. Like him or not, he was excellent here and showed flashes of the Strowman that won fans over way back in 2017 when he was on Monday Night Raw and had them thinking he was one of the faces of WWE's future. Gunther continues his hot streak, adding another banger of a match while cementing himself as one of the top in-ring performers of his generation. His run with the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt has done wonders for that particular championship, and perhaps more importantly, helped with solidifying his connection with the audience. And Michael Cole, he told viewers that that Strowman had custom Green Bay Packer boots on. I mean, you noticed that. He told the viewers of those special Packer boots, and it was in conjunction with the Green Bay Packers and in honor of a young man who died in the 2021 Waukesha Christmas parade attack. And he wore them last night, and then he auctioned them off to benefit those affected by it. So that's amazing. Gotta love these wonderful stories. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of these lately, from Damar Hamlin and now this. I mean, just amazing. Gunther targeted the previously injured shoulder of Strowman, which he first damaged 2 weeks earlier, and Strowman powered out of an armbar submission, sparking his comeback. And that's just amazing. And what a match it was. And the match of Strowman's career, no doubt. And now who's next for Gunther? We don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and find out. But all I know is, I mean, for so many years, that Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt was treated like a joke, and now it's relevant again. And for someone who takes that title very seriously, as I do, so serious that I have, as you've seen on this show many of times, I have the old school, a replica of the old school Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, and every time I look at that thing, I remind myself of all the wonderful memories of it. And the match we saw last night, no doubt about it, it definitely was worthy of that championship. And hats off to both men. Great effort. And wow, that's a way to start it off right there. No question about it. So 4.25 to 4.5 stars. No doubt about it. This was the fight of the night. And MF, it leaves the question: who is next for Gunther? Who's next? We don't know. So not much more to say. MF, send me up for the next relevant segment, match, or whatever there. But the question still remains, and it's going to remain for a little bit. Who's next for Gunther? I don't know.
Yeah. So right after that, we did get Rey Mysterio. He talks about some stuff about winning the Royal Rumble because he enters. That prompted Karrion Kross and Scarlett to come to come out. And they cut a promo more than anything else. Then we had Xia Li versus Tegan Knox. Tegan Knox wins the match in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Then we need to get into this, Anthony. So it seems like our good old friend Adam Pearce is at it again. This time around, there was a little bit of a thing where Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, and they were kind of getting a little slap happy, as I would like to say it. So Adam Pearce is like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. Next week, we're going to start a tournament. And the winners of that tournament will get to face off with the Usos for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. Well, you heard it. The Smackdown Tag Team titles are now in play. You notice, not the Undisputed, only SmackDown only. WWE is starting to... You've been noticing that lately Adam Pearce has been singling out the Usos, putting them in just a Raw-only tag team title fight, now with a SmackDown-only tag team title fight. Is it possible that maybe this is the moment where we might be looking at possibly the Usos losing at least one of the belts? Are they losing the Raw side, or are they going to lose the SmackDown side? One thing for sure, Adam Pearce is making it very evident he's trying to take the belts off the Usos. One of those pair of belts is going. We just don't know which one it's going to be yet. So, Anthony, give me your thoughts on the possible tournament and the first round matchup, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Viking Raiders.
Be a man fight, first of all. I think we're in agreement on that. McIntyre and Sheamus against the Viking Raiders. Yeah, that's a last time I checked, that looks like a be a man fight to me. So, and I think it's going to be another banger, if you will. So, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm for it. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that may not be for it, but let's be honest here, man. The Usos and Roman Reigns have been dominating as double champions for far too long, and Raw doesn't even have a world champion. We don't even have tag team champions. SmackDown has all that. And it's not quite fair to Flair, but I'll say it like this: it's damn sure not fair to Monday Night Raw. I mean, yes, the United States Heavyweight Championship has been elevated because of this. I mean, that's a good thing. But at the same time, I kind of want to see tag team champions on Team Red again, and I damn sure want a world champion. I don't care if it's the WWE Championship. I wouldn't mind if it was the Universal Championship and we bring back the red belt. I don't care. I want a world champion on my show, and I also want tag team champions. That's just something I wanted to get off my chest. But I'll say it like this though, MF. I mean, it's very exciting to think about. I mean, we already have challengers for the Raw Tag Team Championship. That's the Judgment Day. Which version we don't know, because it'll depend on Finn Balor's injury, as we all know. Right now, it could be Finn Balor. It could be, I should say, it could be Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio for however long Finn needs to be out. But if it's not as bad as we thought, maybe it could be Balor and Priest. I don't know, but Judgment Day, they are the challengers for those Raw Tag Team titles, as we saw Monday night when they lasted well over about an hour or so in that gauntlet match. So we're gonna see what happens. So but some may not like it, but I do. I think it's high time we split those titles, have tag team champions on both shows again, and I also want to see the world titles split up as well, so both shows can have a world champion, a secondary champion, a women's champion, and tag team champions, just like it was. So, not much more for me to say on this, but I'm for it. I'm damn sure for it, and let's hope that I don't care who takes the Raw belts. If it's the Judgment Day, it's fine. I don't care. I just want tag team titles on my show again. Yeah. So that's just how I feel about it. So, MF, I know you've enjoyed it because, Roman Reigns and the Usos, both SmackDown talents. I mean, they've already got the Universal and SmackDown tag titles. They unified the titles. Roman unifying the world titles last year at WrestleMania when he beat Brock Lesnar in what they hyped as the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. No, it wasn't. It did not live up to that hype. I'm sorry. It didn't. And then from there, the Usos, when they unified the tag titles last May 20th, when they beat Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, where's Randy Orton been ever since? Nowhere.
No, yeah, he's been out injured, and now many people believe there's even some fear that Orton's career could be over.
And a damn shame. Damn shame. I mean, whether you like Randy Orton or not, I mean, it's a damn shame, man. And I know that hits very close to home for you, MF, because we all know you're the biggest Randy Orton mark we know. And, we'll keep him in our prayers, no doubt about that, and hope that he can make one hell of a comeback and maybe get one last run. But we'll see what happens with that down the line. But for right now, I mean, oh, man. So all I know is I'm for this, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. And McIntyre, and they're now known as the Banger Bros. And Banger Bros and the Viking Raiders, yeah, that's going to be a banger. Be a man banger. No doubt about that when that happens. So, nothing more for me to say. Wrap it up and say it like this. Good for Adam Pearce. I'm for it. MF, it's high time we not only split up the tag titles, let's split the world titles as well, and let both shows have all the gold the way it should have been, the way it was before all this unification stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So with that said, we did move on after that. The next thing that we did have was a promo segment by Bray Wyatt, and my goodness, Bray Wyatt kind of going back to his old ways, to say the very least. I think this is going to be very interesting to see. Florio, Bray Wyatt, I mean, it looks like, in a way, are we seeing the Eater of Worlds again? Are we seeing the Uncle Howdy? Like, what was the make of it? I know a lot of people loved this promo. They felt really good about this more than anything else.
Absolutely. And just how far did Uncle Howdy's attack on Bray Wyatt last week push the former WWE champion? Enough to awaken in him the dark passenger he has attempted to fend off since his return. We saw the brown rocking chair, callbacks to his time with the Wyatt family, and a familiar warning issued to his Royal Rumble opponent, LA Knight. Run. This was very interesting in that things appear to be picking up rather quickly. After weeks of segments that did little to advance this story, the Wyatt saga has ramped things up significantly, thanks in large part to the emergence of Uncle Howdy and the effect he has had on the Eater of Worlds, not to mention Alexa Bliss as well on Raw. LA Knight is going to get swallowed up and beaten decisively at the Rumble. I don't care. I'm already calling it. But it'll be most interesting to see what fiendish depths Wyatt sinks to as a result of Uncle Howdy's influence. And let me see here. Very simply put, he said, Green Bay, we're here. And sometimes all it takes is a little push in the right direction to remind you who you really are. He says, I am the color red in the world full of black and white. I am the Eater of Worlds. I am Uncle Howdy. I am him. I know who I am, but who are you? When the lights go out, you should run. So that's all there really is to say on that. So you can make an argument for this to be the segment of the night here, no question about it. And it's going to be very interesting to see what this match is going to be like in 2 weeks when we get to San Antonio in the Alamo Dome, when we see LA Knight and Bray Wyatt in this Mountain Dew pitch black match. So all I know, MF, is a little word of advice to everybody out there. I think viewer discretion will be advised, should be advised, and if you're squeamish like I get at times, this match is not for you.
No.
We got to make that quite clear.
Yes, very much, and very, very well said. All right, so with that said, we do move on to the next match, which was Liv Morgan going one-on-one with Raquel Rodriguez. Now, this is something that was done earlier in the night. Raquel Rodriguez was, there was a little bit of a backstage segment. It was Liv with, I think it was Maxine, and who was the other one? There was one other girl that was there. It was Raquel, Maxine. I'm trying to remember. There was one other girl, and it was Liv. Well, they were talking about the Royal Rumble, and they were all excited about the Royal Rumble, and how this was the first time and the whole 9 yards. And well, Liv was saying that she was going to go all the way and win it. Raquel disagreed, and Liv slapped Raquel. I mean, she slapped the Spanish out of her because, boy, Raquel was hot, pissed. They were going to do it in the ring. They had a match. When it was all said and done, it was Raquel Rodriguez winning the match. 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Fun little sprint. I'm going to say it. I thought it was an all right fight. Really nothing that would have said, oh, this is going to be amazing. But at the end of the day, they did all right. Could have been a lot more better, but, they did what they did. And there was really nothing more to add. So, I mean, this is about maybe 2.5 stars. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I mean, Liv Morgan wants to be number one. I mean, are you sure about that? You want to be number one, young lady? You really do? Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's happened 3 times on the men's side. I mean, we saw it happen 3 times on the men's side where we saw a man start at number one and somehow, some way win the whole damn thing. I mean, it was Shawn Michaels in 95, Chris Benoit in 2004, and Edge in 2021. I mean, the closest it's happened on the women's side was 2 years ago in 21 when Bianca Belair won from number 3. So, I mean, hey, I'm all for it if she wants to do it. I mean, this will give us a chance to see what she's really made of. And, I mean, I admire her moxie. I'll say that for sure. I mean, we all know how much of a spunky little spitfire this this beautiful young lady really is. But all right. And much was made out of Morgan requesting the number one spot in the Women's Royal Rumble match, but it has still not been confirmed that she actually will enter the match at that number. This match, though, was a nice advertisement for the idea of a smaller competitor overcoming a larger opponent in that particular match, and it continued Morgan's downward descent since losing the SmackDown Women's Championship last October at Extreme Rules to Ronda Rousey. It would be nice, though, if there was any indication that we, or the creative team for that matter, knew where it was ultimately heading. While that may be uncertain, one thing is not. Triple H loves Raquel Rodriguez and clearly sees her as a major part of the women's division's future, as evidenced by how heavily she has been pushed. And Michael Cole said, I'm not sure how to describe her, but she's different, what he said of Liv Morgan. Morgan clotheslined Rodriguez over the top rope into the floor, putting over the idea that she could do the same in the Royal Rumble match. Morgan produced a table, seemingly ready to do the same to Rodriguez that she had done to Sonya Deville and Ronda Rousey in the past. And that's really all there was to say on this. So I agree with MF here. 2.5 stars, fun little sprint. And all I can say to Liv Morgan is be careful what you wish for, young lady, because you just might get it. And if she's number one, MF.
I think she'll be the Iron Woman. I think she'll go very far in the Royal Rumble. I don't have her winning it, but I definitely believe that if she gets the number one spot and starts the Royal Rumble from that spot, I could see her go very far in the Rumble. I could see her at least being there for at least an hour. I don't think she's going to win at all, but I do believe she'll get close enough where she'll make a heck of a run in the Royal Rumble match. So
Final four?
Maybe the last maybe last 10, last 5. I don't know about Final 4, because normally Final 4 you gotta be like a monster name. Because right now, if you're talking about odds-on favorites, I think Rhea Ripley is definitely a name that could win it all.
Yep.
I could see maybe Becky Lynch, depending on what they do with her.
Would be the first 2-time winner.
Raquel Rodriguez, you mentioned it, Anthony. Definitely. I think she could be there at the end.
Definitely.
The fourth one, I don't know. The fourth one is a real toss-up. Maybe Liv gets there. Maybe Liv is in the Final 4.
That'd be something.
Of the Royal Rumble.
If she starts one and goes all the way, I will be very impressed.
Yeah.
And I don't impress easy.
I know. Oh, no. I definitely know you. But I honestly believe that I think she could easily be Final 4. Final 4. I could definitely see her make it all the way to the end. And if she does, I think a lot of people will, I think there'll be that renewed interest of her getting the push again. Because remember, she got that push once when she got the title, but then it faded real fast on her. So absolutely. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll most certainly find out. So, So with that, 2.5 for this. So not much more to say on this. So MF, what else happened here? Oh man,
we only got one thing left, and that's the main event.
Main event time.
Sami Zayn, 1-on-1 with Kevin Owens. Unfortunately, the match ends in a no contest. 15 minutes and 31 seconds. I know. I hear the ugh by Anthony Florio. Yes, I felt the same way. That was a horrible, horrible way for that match to end. Heartbreak City for all of us, because the match was good, man. This had Fight of the Night written all over it until the ending. Floyo, go ahead.
I'll say this though. I mean, Michael Bullock's not here, so I think we can get away with putting a rating on this, even though he would want us to rule this in NA. But I'm not ruling it in NA. I mean, we have every right to, but we're not going to. The only time we don't do an NA for finishes like this was if the match was too damn good. And in this case, this match was too damn good for an NA. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Definitely the correct rating for this. Where do I start? This was more extraordinary work from all involved in what has become one of the best storylines WWE has produced in years. The Usos and Solo Sikoa were likely sent by Roman Reigns not only to soften Kevin Owens up ahead of the Royal Rumble championship match, but also to prevent Sami Zayn from beating him. Why? Because Roman's fragile ego cannot stand the thought of an honorary Uso doing something he is not sure he can do by himself. For the first time, Zayn looked like a man questioning his tribal chief's decision. He had the win in hand. It would have meant the world to him. Why ruin it? Maybe because he is little more than a pawn. A pawn used to set Owens up for the beating. A pawn rather than a trusted ally of Reigns. The moment he finally does come to that realization and stands up for himself, Zayn could be the biggest babyface in professional wrestling. A lot like that underdog from the underground that we all fell in love with. Zayn refused the handshake from his best friend to start. Cole straight up claimed Roman Reigns manipulated Sami into taking the match and doing his dirty work by feigning an apology from his lashing out last week. Zayn delivered a suplex on the apron to take control of the bout, leading into a commercial break, and the honorary Uso scored a quality near fall off the Blue Thunder Bomb. Zayn got his knees up on a Swanton Bomb attempt and scored a 2 count off it as the crowd chanted, "This is awesome." The look on Sami's face as the Bloodline attacked Owens was one of shock and disappointment, unsure of where his faction mates came from or why they interrupted. And Sami told the Usos, "Hey, I'm doing my job. Tribal Chief sent me to take care of business." And then Sami was hesitant to join the Bloodline in celebrating their attack on KO. So there isn't much more to say on this. MF, we got a big finish in Jacksonville here. We got a big finish coming here.
We got a big finish. Yes, indeed. 3 seconds left. The Jaguars are trying to attempt the greatest comeback in
one of the greatest.
One of the greatest comebacks in wild card history. Super wild card weekend as the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars is going on. 30-28. Chargers. Jacksonville has a field goal attempt to win it. Yeah, I know. Proverbial timeout. The Chargers probably called a timeout to ice the kicker here.
Yep.
So they have done it. It's a 36-yard attempt for the win. It will be.
It would be the third.
There's a timeout. Huh?
This would be the third largest comeback. Buffalo has the record, 32 against Houston.
Which I believe was a divisional matchup, if I remember correctly.
That was a wild card.
Oh, it was a wild card, yep.
Yep. And then, of course, the other was 9 years ago when the Indianapolis Colts came back from 28 down against Kansas City. So here we go. Kick is on the way, and it is good. Well, it's good. They did it.
All right.
Hold it. There's a flag. There is a flag. Hold on.
All right. Oh,
no, it's on the Chargers. It's on the Chargers. No, it's over. They did it. Jacksonville wins.
It was a leaping. It was a leap. Either it was a leap or it was offside. Yeah.
Wow. They did it.
The Los Angeles Chargers are out. The Jacksonville Jaguars have completed the comeback. They just knocked off. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me?
From a dud to a 5-star classic.
Yep. It was a dud in the first half. The Jaguars have won. They're going to the next round. They're going to the divisionals. Now they wait. Because now they got to wait to see how that plays out. If Miami wins, They go to They actually no, they gotta wait on the. They still gotta wait on all the other games to prevail.
Well, there would be one other, Baltimore and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Man
And
alive.
just sneaks right inside the upright to get it. The Chargers are out. I gotta say it. I think that coaching staff is about to lose their jobs. I think there's going to be a new head coach. Justin Herbert gets denied at the gate. And if you're Trevor Lawrence, what a comeback. What a bounce back. He actually threw 4 interceptions earlier in this game.
But bounced back with 4 touchdown passes.
About 4 touchdowns of his own to win it. Unbelievable. Wow, 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 wow is all I can say. We're going to have a lot to talk about on Thursday night, folks.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Where were we after that? Oh, yeah, the main event. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, Super Wildcard Weekend, it's turning out to be pretty damn super right about now. Oh, my goodness. Huh?
Except for that first game. And
oh, no, the first game was a dud.
This game was on its way to being a dud, but wow. Yeah. Unbelievable.
So
now we got to wait and see what tomorrow has in store.
Yeah.
The triple header and then Monday night. So we'll see what happens.
All right.
Unbelievable. So my thinking on the main event was 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. This Sammy Uso storyline continuing here. I mean, it's one of the best we've seen in years, and I know it has received critical acclaim and a lot of universal praise from so many, especially in the IWC. So, but man, it's 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, overall it was 4, but I'm going to bump it down to 3.5 to 3 3/4 because of the finish. But
yeah,
I know. I mean, it should be an NA, but Bullock's not here. We're putting a rating on this because the match was too damn good for an NA. So 3.5, 3 3/4. MF. I mean, I've heard rumors about possibly them doing Sami Zayn versus Roman at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in Sammy's hometown of Montreal. Could you imagine if that happens?
Yeah. So,
or maybe, and there's even talks of maybe even Sammy dethroning Roman. What a rub that would be for him if they do that.
Yeah.
But it could happen.
I think that could be because remember the last time we had an outcome like that was actually when Eddie Guerrero beat Brock Lesnar heading into WrestleMania. If I remember, it was the No Way Out, the event before, and that was right in. I believe it was in. It was really in Eddie's backyard, if I remember correctly.
No, it was that was at the legendary Cow Palace in San Francisco.
Yeah, in San Fran. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will. So it was the second best fight of the night. It definitely could have been the fight of the night if it wasn't for the finish. But 3.5, 3 3/4 for this. So I'm intrigued. And hey, if they were to have Sammy beat Roman at the Elimination Chamber in his hometown of Montreal, it would be like the Canadiens winning the Stanley Cup, for goodness sakes.
Oh yeah. Remember how you were saying how WWE messed it up by this giving Drew McIntyre the rub in Cardiff? This would be the ultimate makeup.
What's that?
I say, remember how you were so about how Drew didn't get the moment in Cardiff,
and I'm
Clash
still bitter.
At the Castle?
And to this day, I'm still bitter about it.
Well, this would be WWE's mea culpa.
Oh, yes.
This would be the, okay, we get it. We're sorry. And, like, that would be the ultimate, like, olive branch for that to happen. So nothing more to
Positive.
say.
Positive.
The show is pretty good. The show is pretty good. I mean, obviously could have been a lot more better, but I'm not going to be too bad about it. Um, yeah, the main event, like you said, 3.5 to 3 3/4. I really got nothing else to add. So overall review, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. I think it was a good show. I didn't have anything bad to say about it. I think it was really good. So Anthony, I give it to you.
7.5 for me as well. The two big main events both delivered. Gunther and Strowman, Zayn and Owens, they both delivered. A couple of good segments here and there. A wild and crazy brawl with Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville on top of that. And then, of course, the other brawl with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So, yeah, I'm with you, MF. This was 7 to 7.5. Now we move on to AEW Rampage that went down, that was taped following Dynamite Wednesday night from the Kia Forum, or as we best remember it, the Great Western Forum in Inglewood.
Starting out with Darby Allin versus Juice Robinson for the TNT title. And it was indeed Darby Allin winning the match, 10 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah, good match, solid opener. I don't think it was anything bad to say. It was a fine match. And for all those fans who didn't know or doesn't know Juice Robinson, I hope you enjoyed what you saw because that's normally how he normally is in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The Forbidden Door swung open again, and yeah, this was pretty damn good. So I really got nothing bad to say. This is another, I'd say about a solid 3 more than anything else. Anthony, it's yours.
What was that time again?
10 minutes and 50 seconds.
3.25. I'll give it that. I've seen Juice Robinson only a handful of times. I mean, I know you know him better than I do, MF, mainly because of his work in Japan, obviously, with New Japan. And I did see him a few times, when he and David Finlay were in Impact Wrestling and FinJuice,
yes,
and became Impact World Tag Team Champions. So that's how I best remember him. And I'll tell you what, this bout was designed to do two things. It was meant to make Juice Robinson look like a tough competitor, and it was meant to make Darby Allin look like a resilient champion. It accomplished both goals while delivering some decent action along the way. The finish saw Allin counter a superplex into a scorpion death drop before hitting the coffin drop for the win. The final sequence was easily the best part of the bout. And the way Robinson dumped Allin over the top rope looked dangerous, but Allin did his best to save it and still sell the impact. It's wild to think that Robinson is the same guy who was CJ Parker in NXT all those years ago. He's a completely different man in every way. Robinson hit a chest chop that sounded extremely painful. Allen's tope suicida always looks dangerous, and that's what makes it fun. Let's just hope he doesn't miss the mark one of these days because that could end in disaster. And the counter from a superplex into a scorpion death drop was awesome. 3 to 3.25 stars. And MF, the Forbidden Door opens again because on Wednesday night on Dynamite, Darby Allin will defend that TNT Championship again in another open challenge match against Kushida.
Yes.
How about it?
That's going to be, I mean, you know how Kushida is. You know how amazing Kushida is.
Yep.
I mean, if you haven't seen, for all the New Japan fans, you know how he is. If you've seen him in NXT, you know how he is. Guys, get ready. That's going to be insane. Next up we had was Malachi Black and Brody King versus Ortiz and Eddie Kingston. Malachi Black and Brody King won the match in 9 minutes and 46 seconds. Anthony, it's yours.
Hey, what's going on with Eddie Kingston and Ortiz?
Yeah.
Wow. They were showing a lot of animosity throughout the bout. So Black and King had a clear advantage. But that doesn't mean that Kingston and Ortiz did not put up a good fight, though. I mean, these four men are all known for being great fighters, so this was a match filled with stiff shots and hard bumps. They worked their butts off to make this fun, and the crowd gave them great reactions in return. Julia Hart and Buddy Matthews ran down to the ring with a chair, but Eddie Kingston cut them off. and Julia pretended like Eddie Kingston was going to hit her with the chair, and that caused Ortiz to get hit in his face. The distraction allowed Malachi Black to score the win for his team. Another 3 to 3.25 star match here. Julia Hart should have been there for Black and King's entrance. She had the cool presence of the group. King's chops are as loud as Gunther's sometimes, and the sequence with Black and Kingston trading strikes and taunting each other was fantastic. This was another 3 to 3.25 star match, and MF, nothing left to say except to set dissension among the ranks between Eddie Kingston and Ortiz with those two hotheads. Oh boy.
Yeah. There's really nothing more to add on that. Like you said, there was some hotheads coming out in this one, and we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, so I don't think there's really much for me to say here. Solid match, solid battle leads us to the main event of the evening, as it was a women's tag team match. It was in this matchup we had was Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho versus Ty Mello and Anna Jay in a street fight. Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho wins the match in 12 minutes and 35 seconds. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. This was not what I expected, but my God, was this a really good street fight. It was blood. Did you see what happened to Ruby Soho? Did you see that blood coming out?
She was bleeding like a stuffed pig.
Dude, that was unreal what we saw. I've never seen anything like that. Well, I've seen Crimson Masks and everything else, but my God. I mean, that was, whoa. Great match, great battle. I'm calling it fight of the night. This was their best. This was the best match of the evening. This was easily, with the time of the fall. The time of the fall was 12 minutes and 35 seconds. This is 3.5 to 4. I can't go any more. This was great. This saved the show, because the show was okay, but this put it over the top. This saved the show from being a disaster. Anthony, I give it to you. These women tore it up. This was amazing.
This never even came close to being a wrestling match. This was a fight from start to finish. They used weapons, drew blood, and fought all over the ringside area. With Jay and Mello having a lot to live up to from their previous street fight, it seemed like all four women were dedicated to making this a memorable performance. They packed a lot into this bout, so it's definitely the kind of thing you need to see for yourself. All four women put forth the maximum effort to make this a bloody brawl any ECW legend would be proud of. After hitting Destination Unknown onto a pile of tacks, Ruby Soho pinned Ty Mello to score the win. If you don't like blood, you may want to avoid this one. Let's see here. Soho was busted open early in the bout and was immediately a bloody mess, which made this all the more obvious, which was made all the more obvious by her white shirt. Some of the action that happened during the break was good, but having to watch it in that little picture-in-picture box during commercials is less than ideal. You could hear the crowd chanting, but the fans closest to the ring seemed to be sitting on their hands and staying quiet. It was kind of weird, because this is the kind of match people usually get excited to see. The table spots in this match were great, so 3.5 to 3.75 star. Definitely the fight of the night. And as far as overall goes, I don't think it was as much of a disaster as MF thought. I mean, I thought the other two matches were fine as well. So I could give this easily a solid 7, maybe 7.5. I mean, especially because of that women's match there. So one of the better taped Rampages we've seen in a while, or I've seen in a while. So there isn't much more for me to add on this. If there's a disagreement on this, it is what it is. So a good 7, maybe 7.5 for this. MF take it home.
I'll go 7. I wasn't gonna go anything lower than a 7, but this was a solid 7. Yeah, this was, like we said, this was great. This was awesome. So nothing more to say, and we're done for tonight. So Monday night, again, another edition of Ridiculously Raw. This time around, it'll be Monday Night Raw. Anthony will have a very special Tony's take because, it was the Hard to Kill Impact special. So
Pay-per-view.
Yeah, pay-per-view. So
Impact hard to kill. And let me tell you, MF, I'm just gonna say one quick thing about it. Very newsworthy show.
Yes.
And I'll say it like this. The match we all thought was gonna be the main event wasn't. And you're not gonna believe where that match ended up. You're not gonna believe it at all.
All right. So with that said, then Wednesday Night Madness, AEW, Dynamite, and NXT. As always, Thursday we recap the Super Wildcard Weekend. We preview the divisional round in the National Football League, and then of course on Friday we'll be doing this all over again with another edition of Raw, another edition of SmackDown, another Dynamite, another Rampage, I should say. And I don't believe this is right around the time of Rumble, or no, Rumble's in the next week. It's the week after. So we're 2 weeks away from Rumble. So until then, we're done. So for Anthony Floyo, I'm Google MF Michael Fletcher. Like the video, leave a comment on the bottom, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms around the world. And until then, so long, everybody.
Goodbye.